Again, we do live stream the first portion of this to just introduce ideas, and then we will turn it off so people can feel free to talk about whatever. No, it won't be recorded or transmitted. So, all right. So, as usual, take a moment. I know I've got this brain that thinks things. I can see what it's thinking sometimes. And I got these emotions that feel things. And I can see I'm feeling this or feeling that, or not feeling this or that. And I've got this body with all these wonderful senses, and then its urges and its hormones, and I can see I have all of that. What's the part of me that can see all the rest of those things? That's the gateway to mindfulness, is looking for that space in us. So let's just take a short moment and just ponder that. Okay, just a short ponder today. So, I'm trying to regroup back to more basic teaching. I find it's very easy for me to wander into my own theology, and then we get debating that all around or sharing, and I'm going to keep trying to bring it back to just basic mindfulness. So call me out if you catch me slipping, and I may call it out if I catch it slipping elsewhere. So what is basic mindfulness? A lot of the teachers we've seen that are like Zen Buddhism, the Tao, Eckhart Tolle, and actually many others these days. But there's a core to mindfulness that if we just keep that core in mind, it helps make the other practices like being present, be here now, and even meditation, it can help make them work a little better, I find. The basic core is there is a space of peace that either we can find or we can cultivate in ourselves. Some people don't seem to have ever had an experience of it, and that's fine. We have what we have and don't have what we don't have. So it assumes if we're going to enter into mindfulness that something in me wants to at least find peace. And if I've known it, I want to return to it. Because mindfulness is based around the very core key process of getting to peace. It is also used for doing anything I want to do all day long in life. So it's not about going into a meditation and sitting motionless all day long. But I can do everything I want to do in peace. And that's kind of the goal of mindfulness. That's why we do it. I want to be more peaceful and more happy, joyful in everything I do. So the basic process is when I remember I can be at peace with this, or while I'm doing this, or just for the fun of it. Okay? Then I begin making a choice. Well, yeah, I want to be at peace. No, I don't. I'm enjoying being pissed off. I want to be at peace. No, I need this fear to protect me. I want to be at peace. No, it has to be done this way and they're doing it wrong. And so on. We're going to come back to that one. But, so that may go on anywhere from a second or two to 2 years. That phase of choosing to bring some activity in my mind that I've decided isn't the most peaceful it could be. So I work on that until finally the third step is in AA they call it getting sick and tired of being sick and tired of myself. I'm tired of my brain or emotions or whatever doing this. I choose peace. And the last step is I open up my mind and ask for help. I want to see things different. I want something in here to work differently. And I just ask. I don't have to believe in a particular thing. So whether we think of it as our subconscious or superconscious or Holy Spirit or whatever, we're opening up to something besides that pattern that we've been locked in. And that's the key, is that opening up for something different to happen. And most traditions teach there is a help. You know, in Buddhism, they say there's an inner Buddha to help you. Eckhart Tolle calls it consciousness. The new consciousness will help us. Lao Tzu called it the way. He said the way is an actual force, the way the universe works, and it will work with us to help us walk in peace with the way. So, but at that point, there are no beliefs or stories in mindfulness. It is that simply that one process of, oh, I could be more at peace. I want to be more at peace. I really do. And I open up to see something different. We were chatting at breakfast about how our humanness is programmed from day one by society and parents and peers and things that happen to us, random events. And that by the age of kindergarten, we're already well programmed. This is what life is for. This is the way you should act as a good human being. And this is the way you should relate. And it's not at all conscious programming. And it's also fragmented. We have all kinds of different thoughts that have been stuck in here. Grandma has said this, and I liked Grandma's. Now I've got Grandma's program. But Dad says this, and I like Dad, and there's Dad's program, and they conflict, or they don't even meet up. It's like that mess is what drives ourselves crazy. So we use mindfulness to begin sorting and to recognize that's a program. It's not who I am. That's not how life is. Well, I think it is. Well, of course you do. And you're pissed at the world all the time because you think it should be different than what it is. It's like, do I want to be at peace enough to begin letting that inner inspection recognize this is a program? It might be mental, it might be emotional, it might be stored as a tension or a fear and anxiety in the body itself. It doesn't matter. Mindfulness works with all three very easily. But that key point is, oh, look what I'm doing. Yeah, I hate it when I always get in this situation, and here I am, I'm in it again. Oh, how'd I get there again? Oh no, that wasn't because I did that. Well, maybe I had a little bit of effect in creating it. And it requires a growing self-honesty. Self-awareness is self-honesty. to be willing, to become willing to look in there, see how I react, see what I think about, see what I believe, see how I relate. And there's no formula. For every one of us, we're gonna sort ourselves as it happens because life is happening. We drop all the things we've been told or heard. Well, it's better if you do it this way. It's better if you follow this practice. It's better if you hold this belief. No, I see which belief I want to hold or which practice I want to follow. I let my inner sense that is now looking and listening lead me through sorting myself out. And that's a nice thing, because with that, I can release all kinds of self-judgment and guilt I have, because I never actually could want to be, let alone actually be, all those things I was told I should be. I just never, I made myself, but I could never want to be that. Oh, you mean I can just quit now? Yeah. Your life. You know what you are in there. You know what you want to express, what you want to explore, what you want to expand. Oh, I can trust myself? Oh, that's a scary one, isn't it? Yeah, you can begin to trust because you're searching for peace, and you know that now. Something has woken up, maybe just a tiny glimpse, but you now know, no, there's just another way that I can feel would work better, but I really don't have a clue what it is yet. But I'm going to start exploring it. And there we go. That's it. So kind of the goal of peace as a framework, not a dictate, is I would like to be able to walk through any experience I encounter in my life and bring it to peace, or even better, stay in peace, but that may take a moment or two. But I said for myself, I would like to be living this life in joy, in peace, and in love. That's kind of an added element. For me, I find that's a natural, and many teachers say it's natural. I can't tell anybody else that. I can't tell you should want to like people. I can't tell you should have a feeling of wishing well for them. But I find that feeling when I go to my peace. And so did a few thousand other teachers and mystics. So we have to make our own deeper decision. I want to head to that kind of a place. I want to learn to live not just from it, but as that. I want to be the one in the room that can be empathetic, can listen when necessary, but can smile and don't lose my shit because they say something I don't like, and not get triggered by fear. I would like to be that kind of person. So it's like, it's too simple. I don't need particular beliefs. It helps to find practices. What the practices do is, we've been thinking, we are these thoughts, we are these emotions, we are this body and its impulses. And mindfulness leads us to learn, I am also this awareness that can see all that and let it change. So we're shifting our identity from I am all these thoughts and feelings and emotions to I am an awareness that has all these thoughts and feelings. There's a freedom there, because then they're free to change. If it's not who I am, I don't have to cling to it to identify myself. And I can say, oh, that part's lovely. I love being an artist or a musician or a counselor or whatever. No need to bother with that. That part there, oh boy, that could use a little work. I don't need to be pissed all the time. I don't need to be afraid all the time. So we will consciously evolve our own awakening in that sense. So practices then, or when I see that part that I think, ooh, I might be a little better off if that changed up a bit. How do I change it? First, the basic. I want to see this brought to be an expression in peace. What do I need to do? I need to recognize I'm caught in my thought world. What do I mean by caught in? Quick little exercise. We're just going to go to stillness for 1 minute. And I want you to count stillness 1 with each breath. Stillness 1. Stillness 2. Let's see if anybody can make it to 20. Go. I breathe fast. So. Did anybody find that somewhere they suddenly were off thinking about something and missing a breath to count?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah. I usually don't count though.
I know.
usually just follow my breath.
But it's
yeah.
the point of the exercise is I decided I wanted to do something, but I let my brain take control and do what it wants instead.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we have gone to sleep. We are let our mental brain take us over. And now we're running on its programs, which are only from the past. The brain can only process stored information and current data, but that it's already labeled before it gets from the eye into the brain as good or bad or whatever. The brain is a tool, like our laptops, to use to do stuff within the world. It's an interface between my desire to lift my arm and all the stuff required to actually make it move. And that's pretty cool if that actually happens, you know. But anyway, so one practice or a vein of practices which meditation approaches is to begin learning how, where do I let my awareness slip into the brain being back in control. So as we get some experience with that, the brain keeps running. It's not that you don't have thoughts, even in that the counting exercise, because the counting is using the brain how I want to use it. Mm-hmm. When other thoughts come in and I'm off thinking about what am I going to have for lunch today, or whatever, that's where I've let my brain take over rather than my awareness directing what I want it to do. We grow in learning in that sense. The same applies to an emotion. Okay, I'm feeling peaceful here right now. Now, can I think about that person for 20 seconds? Or that situation? Or that memory? And stay in this nice peaceful place I'm in. And then the emotion No, I'm afraid, I'm pissed, whatever. Again, we're learning where we've actually been taught to give in to the programs because they wanted the programs. You know, it's called public schooling. It's called good parenting in the old style. And the same with the body. I'm hungry. Yeah, so what? A person can fast for a week, it won't kill you. No, I need to eat right now. You know, again, awareness is learning where I let all the crazy programs in me that end up causing me an unpeaceful experience. I'm learning to be aware of them and saying, oh, let's just look at that a moment. There might be a better way. And that's the core of mindfulness. So they give teachings like learn to be present. You can meditate with your eyes open and just be present with the room or nature. What does being present mean? I'm just seeing you and that lovely couch and all these lovely people, and I'm not going into thinking about something. See, it's the same learning to stay in my awareness. Just aware, I'm here, you're here, this is happening. We're being invaded with a horde of stray cats. And it's not about focus. I mean, there are practices to use focus for a while, like on the candle flame. That's a specific practice. But being present means being a responsive to everything in life from my awareness and not getting drug into a program, a belief, a thought, an urge. That's what we can cultivate. And in most traditions, that's called waking up. I'm no longer unconsciously slipping into a program. If I see, all right, this is going to require my fiery program, and I engage it consciously, that's fine. I see what I'm choosing to do, and that's the key to mindfulness. I'm choosing. I'm always choosing. Okay. Other thoughts or practices each may use or know.
Can I share something
Oh.
that what you're saying reminds me of? I had this experience one time. I was meditating. I went really deep into meditation, and I came to this place that I perceived as a little tiny hole in a vast darkness, and I experienced I experienced myself choosing each and every little thought, and it coming out of this hole. And I feel like that's kind of reminds me of what you were saying, and
cool.
I think that's where like our thoughts come from, and we choose each and every single one, and it comes. I don't know what was on the other side of that darkness. What was on the other side of that little hole?
Awesome.
Maybe that's like our God awareness or something. I don't know.
But it really makes the point. That's
Yeah,
important.
it reminds me of what you're
Thank
saying.
you.
We choose, even breathe in, breathe
Yeah.
out. We choose that on some level.
Yeah.
I guess I'll share one of my techniques.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that talk. That was great. Yeah, I guess one of my favorite techniques is focusing on the awareness around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Joe Dispenza might talk about that, or like samadhi. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like where it's good for people like me to get out of because I'm kind of analytical. So sometimes if I focus on my breath too much,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, am I doing it right? Am I breathing correctly? Or even like the nose awareness. So I actually focused on the energy around me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I can get into no thought, samadhi.
Yeah.
So I'm unaware of like my the external consciousness and the internal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that works good for me.
Cool.
I noticed if anybody's like hyper analytical, that one seems to work better. For some people, but
That's why I haven't taught a lot of specific practices,
Right.
because there's so many variations on what'll
Yeah.
work for who.
exactly.
And being present does not always mean being visually present. I may be present to that space you're talking about.
Mhm.
I may be present if I have a problem to solve with the inner process and just watching the brain and my thoughts for the purpose of solving a problem. I mean, being present means staying in awareness with my attention from awareness on whatever I'm choosing to do. So if this room's full of people talking, I may tune in and I'm only talking or listening in a conversation with you. I'm still present because I'm not off thinking, but I don't have to try to be present with every sensory stimulation or every memory that comes up, so yeah, and the same with the basic teaching of be here now. We're either, how do they put that?
Eckhart Tolle.
Well, Ram Dass coined
Ram
the
Dass.
phrase,
Oh.
but there's a little
Hmm.
thingy that goes with it that I knew a moment ago. Like, if you feel depressed, you're living in the past. If you feel anxiety, you're living in the future. Now, because if I go into a bad memory, as soon as a memory comes into the mind, to the mind it is now. And it's back in that again, as if it were happening again right now. So I learned to see that, here I am now, having a memory of them, good or bad. And that's actually a lot of work done with healing trauma. We'll use that to learn to see it's a memory. And if I let it pull me in, it becomes my reality, and now I've got to react to it. But we all do that all day long. I just read a meme that says, hey, flight or fight was designed for life and death situations, not for answering your email. But we do. We'll get tense or anxious or even bummed out over photons on a piece of glass screen in front of us. So be here now is, all right, here I am. I got a memory coming up. I got a worry for the future coming up. But here I am. I'm okay now. Breathing. Just had a good breakfast. Yep, I'm okay. Try to calm down all that crazy. What do I want to do here and now? And yeah, then there'll be phases I go to work with those memories for healing. There'll be phases I go to work making some plans and ideas for my future. I mean, I'm going to shape my life. Well, some of us are just kind of crazy and see what happens. But, the point is, we do it consciously. We do all of it with awareness. I am choosing to do this now. And I am leading the experience from awareness, not from an old program. Sorry, I get going.
No, that was great.
It's fun. You can go on forever with this stuff.
The practice I try to use is the power of the pause, which is like the couple seconds after an initial thing,
Yeah.
Triggers you or what have you, event. Because I know whatever I do initially is going to be the reactionary. It's going to be the program.
Yep.
And typically until I can retrain and change perspective of memories and the programming, first thought wrong, first reaction wrong,
Yeah.
so if I pause, then you're getting into the choice where the power lies, I had a thought, but it escaped me. But yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's something it just kind of begins to develop if we just check. Again, most of the teachers have said that. Einstein said it. I think 99 times and nothing comes. I get still and I get a new thought. And that's the point with the pause. Here comes the old thoughts. I pause. I leave space to get a new thought. And of course, Zen and Tolle are very big on that. So thank you.
Yeah, Eckhart's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love his Dharma talks.
yes.
He's so grounded. Yeah, you just see he's so focused on the spaciousness around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that pause would be kind of the key to mindfulness, huh?
Yes, it's how we implement mindfulness. It's my
Okay.
choice to be mindful, is to learn to pause, because now I'm looking for something different instead of my old reaction. So thank you for,
Yeah, it's to
Pointing-
respond versus react.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Consciousness versus animal reaction.
I think I noticed a lot with the teachers like Eckhart Tolle and Thich Nhat Hanh and the pause. You
Mhm.
see like them actually dancing in their pause.
Mhm.
They're like really
Yeah.
confident in this, and they're like, and when they speak, it's like a dance with them in this
Yeah.
pause, and that's so it's like inspiring to be
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah, most people can't be comfortable in that pause.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like they have to say something.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's why like a lot of people can't watch people like that. Eckhart Tolle, they're not comfortable in the pause.
yeah,
They always got to say something. So that's just they're more in that sympathetic state. Like, yeah, they're not very. Or
yeah.
I think it's
You
because
know.
they're resistant to awakening.
yeah,
And the awakening is right there in the
There-
pause, and they're like, oh.
There's so much fear in us that we don't recognize,
yeah,
and people that don't like the pause, they're so afraid of what they would see, that they are horrible, that life is horrible, and they need to keep that dialogue running of pretending it's okay, or I've got it under control, or at least good enough, and it's like a panic reaction to keep that fear squashed. And the fear in them is so huge. And I would offer Eckhart at other groups, and people would say, "Oh yeah, I put them on to put me to sleep,
yeah,
because if they can't talk, they shut down. They can't just sit."
yeah,
And I used to kid that this is good of a meditation of any. Listen to him or Thich Nhat Hanh.
yeah.
Do I have to? No, you don't have to, but it will show you that space that we talk about in waking.
I think the other aspect of awakening too, right, is understanding the vastness of programming,
Yeah.
that's done, like TV programming and
Conditioning.
domestication, societal norms that were predetermined type of thing.
Yeah.
And understanding that 90%, if you're not aware, you're just walking on automatic,
Yep.
and when you realize that that's the freedom, that you're no longer an
Yeah.
automatic person walking around. You're taking control of what you do on a daily
Yeah.
basis as much as possible as you grow and develop in that awareness. Because that was a big thing for me, is understanding that everything I was doing, to your point, 80% of it I was doing I didn't like doing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to change it.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually me creating my own suffering,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm doing things almost against my will.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
there's no free will in that, so yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And recognizing in that, we have been programmed to be programmable. And just catching that. It's actually rooted in a very primal instinct as being a tribal type organism. We have a thing that part of it is the mirror neurons, that I want to be compatible with my tribe, so I'm not evicted. So we have that tendency to go along. It's a very primal animal inclination in us, and they exploit that to make us programmable. So we've been trained to listen to that, all done subconsciously. So that's something else we will see with more awareness, like, whoa, I've been taught I should go your way, And Trump uses that wonderfully. He knows how to work that.
What'd you call it? Mirror neurons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're standing talking and you fold your arms, the other person will tend to fold their arms, or vice versa. They do it, so you find yourself doing it. It's built in to keep the tribal energy solidified. You know, it's kind of a false form of unity and harmony. You know, and then the alpha energy gets to dictate what that energy is going to be, and you're all going to go along with me.
Very animal-like.
It is. It's a part of the
It's
animal
domestication.
structure of this body. Yeah.
And the aspect of being educated and trained and taught to eventually no longer ask questions
Mm-hmm.
and believe that whoever is teaching you knows better.
Yeah.
Right? So you
Yeah.
no longer contest or ask questions. That's crazy to me. But that's by 12th grade.
Right.
They figured how long it took
Yeah.
for a person to stop asking questions.
To program you to sit still and take orders
Yes.
most of your day,
Yes.
priming you to be a good employee.
Right.
Yes.
The thing that has been toughest for me to deal with and to change in myself is the sense of, well, I'm right.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting because, you know, I've always hung on to, I need the other person to recognize the truth of this situation. But then I catch my memories, and my memories change. As I have new input, from who knows where, that changes my memories. And now, what I thought was right wasn't right, something else is right, and I'm still hanging on to it.
Yeah, the funny
So,
Reframing.
you
about
know,
memories is that you're only remembering the last time you remembered it. Your memories are
Yeah.
not like.
exactly. It's so realizing that, of course, has
Yeah.
helped a lot. But,
Yeah.
you know, it just,
Yeah. The need to be right's pretty universal in humans. I've had it big time.
yeah. And the need to have the other person
Be right.
be right, the same right you are.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't ask that or expect that.
Not
And-
in awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. And and it's so fun to enjoy other people and their ideas and thoughts when we can let them have their own without the need to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved when you bringing up a past memory and you can feel it now because the subconscious doesn't recognize the time frame that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can bring in the reframing
Mm-hmm.
by taking someone else's perspective
Yeah.
and changing the memory as you mentioned. And that changes your composition,
Mm-hmm.
right, and your energy and everything. So when I express that with you, I'm coming to you with a different level of energy and a different perspective, which is changing my interaction with the other person I'm talking to, which then changes my future.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I heard that someone refer it to kind of as time traveling, because I'm changing my past, I'm changing my present, which will change my future. And I thought that was beautiful.
It's a fun way to play with it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's actually, I think, pretty true in some ways, because all my reactions from the past affect my life and are creating my future. So the more I piece these out and free them, the more freely I can actually create my future on purpose, instead of, so we are
Intentional.
playing with the past and future. Good, that was good. Cool,
I like that. Time traveling.
yeah.
Every choice is a time travel moment.
Other thoughts?
That makes me think about how reality is constantly splitting, and how that there's almost like, what is it, infinite realities, it's all existing simultaneously, and that we can like go in and out of them depending upon where we're at mentally and energetically.
That's an idea. That's what I'm pointing out, just so we see what we're doing. You're feeling something, and then you have that idea of what is going on there. I point that out because it's very easy for us to get a new idea, but it becomes our new religion if we don't recognize. That's one way to frame what I'm trying to experience. It's not necessarily that's how it is. You see the difference? I can enjoy, I love that. I got plenty of those. But the more I can recognize, that's my idea of how reality works. I like that a lot better than the one I was given when I was 10. But it's still an idea. And as long as we can keep seeing it's my idea, it's constantly free to evolve, is where I was going to. Instead of locking it down, all right, I'll spend 3 decades here now, knowing it works this way.
Because you don't know the whole picture, no one
Right.
does.
And
True.
how can we even really describe it except sketching it with words like you just did? But it's a sketch. Yeah.
Thank you.